A little sign. Sometimes we wait for life to give us a grand announcement. A door flung open, a voice from the sky, a perfect certainty. We imagine guidance as something unmistakable, something dramatic enough that we could not possibly miss it. Something that arrives with proof, confirmation, and maybe even a little thunder. But often, what we get is smaller. A little sign. A feeling that keeps returning. A sentence that stays with us. A pause we didn't expect. A quiet yes in the body. A discomfort we keep trying to explain away. A moment of peace that appears before the mind has time to argue with it. The small signs are easy to dismiss because they rarely arrive with force. They do not always interrupt the room. They do not always make a case for themselves. They simply appear and wait. And maybe that is part of the lesson. Because the world has taught us to trust volume. We are told that important things should be obvious, measurable, productive, and loud. We are trained to respond to alarms, deadlines, notifications, and demands. But inner wisdom often has a quieter voice. It may not shout over everything else. It may not compete for attention. It may simply stand at the edge of awareness and ask to be noticed. A little sign might be the way your body softens around a certain idea. It might be the way your energy drains every time you say yes to something that is no longer yours. It might be the person whose presence feels like exhaling. It might be the creative impulse that keeps returning even when you ignore it. It might be the strange coincidence that does not tell you what to do, but does invite you to pay attention. And that distinction matters. Not every sign is an instruction. Not every sign is a command. Not every sign means change your life immediately. Sometimes a sign is simply a lantern. It says, "Look here. Notice this. Be honest about what this brings up in you." We can get into trouble when we try to turn every small sign into a final answer. The point is not to become superstitious or to chase meaning in every passing detail. The point is to become more available to our own awareness. A sign is not always there to solve the whole path. Sometimes it only illuminates the next step. And maybe that is enough. Because most of life is not lived in giant revelations. Most of life is lived in small movements. Choosing again, noticing again, returning again. A hand offered, a truth admitted, a boundary felt, a spark followed, a breath taken before we disappear into old habits. The little signs matter because they bring us back into relationship with ourselves. They remind us that we are not only thinking our way through life, we are sensing it, feeling it, receiving it, responding to it. And the more we practice listening, the less we need the world to shout. So today, maybe the question is not, where is my sign? Maybe the question is, What small sign have I already been given? What have I been feeling but not naming? What keeps returning? Where does my body soften? Where does my spirit lean forward? And what would happen if I honored the little sign before demanding a bigger one? Maybe wisdom is already near. Maybe it has been touching your shoulder for a while now, waiting gently, not to force you, just to be noticed.